All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. I'm back here in the studio as promised. I said I was going to talk about this particular subject matter here, and I'm going to be transparent with a lot of it. I want to make sure I heard myself. All right, we hear myself very good. Want to make sure that sound will never be a problem. Well, I just got back, ladies and gentlemen, once again from Istanbul. But let me give you all a hand clap for thanking you for coming with me just in the middle of the day, joining me, just giving you a celebration, right? So I just got back from Turkey, your uncle. Now, originally, I wasn't supposed to go back out there. I was really supposed to go just in October, but something happened where we had to double back. So we doubled back. Took my little girl this time. So you take your little girl, 7 years old. I made a mistake. Not taking her is a mistake, but showing her how to Google what to do was my mistake. Because see, back in Atlanta, when we was there, I said, why don't you just, she said, what can we do here, Daddy? So I say, well, shoot, you can Google it. And I showed her how to Google, and oh yeah. So I woke up one day and my little girl had already an itinerary where we needed to go in Istanbul. So I'm like, whoa. So I messed up, y'all. I messed up. But that's fine. Kids need to know how to Google, right? You don't want them not to know how to do anything. So with further ado, while I was in Turkey, I definitely was paying attention to everything that was going on with this court case with Cardi B and Tasha K. Okay. I saw people's videos. I even said on my community tab, I wasn't going to say anything about this until it's over with. I didn't want to say anything one way or another. I didn't want to do that. But we all know what the final verdict was. The jury had awarded Cardi B 3.8 million. Now, there's a lot of people that's celebrating that. A lot of people don't like Tasha. But let me tell you my position on Tasha K myself. Just your uncle talking here. Now, back in 2017, I met Tasha myself around, I think summer of 2017. I met Tasha because we was all going to go to VidCon out there in Anaheim, California. I didn't know who she was at the time. That's, when her and T was, cool. And that's how I met Tasha at the time. Now, when I met Tasha was very respectful. She was a very nice person. She was. I heard about her channel. She told me what she was doing. Me, because I make sure I tell the truth of everything that I say. I put proof up. I mean, if you see right there, we all took a picture together right there. Okay, so I'm telling you, right there, you see. I met Tasha. All right. So my wife was there, everything. She treated my wife very nice, very respectful. I remember, her talking about her going live a lot and how she, had certain times she would go live and I start checking out her channel and I say, whoa, man, you getting some live viewers because, you don't usually see too many black people getting 10,000, 11,000, 15,000 live viewers at a time. That's usually white folks be getting that. So I'm like, man, she must be on to something. So I started watching her platform while she was there, and she had asked me at the time, said, what you think about my platform and everything? Like, because, I steadily grew with time. I didn't just blow up. I think she kind of blew up within a year when she got about 200,000 subscribers. So, and I looked at it and I assessed it and I said, this is the thing. You grew real fast. So when you grow real fast, there's certain fundamentals that you may miss when you grow so fast. I said, but this is what I told her. And I said this to her face to face, so there's nothing secret that I said. I said, the only thing that I see, I said, man, I said, you are like a female version of 50 Cent. And she looked to me and I said, man, you be riding down them people, and I was just laughing about it, at the time. Right. And so I say, well, that's her style. It works for her. It's not me, but it works for her. So, Tasha was cool. Like I said, respectful, all the stuff that y'all see with her on the internet. That's not what I met with her. A year later, when I had all my drama going on YouTube, right? Tasha picked up the phone, called me. He said, "Hey, Phil, what's going on? You good? I see all this drama with you on the internet, and you good? You need anything?" I said, "Nah, Tasha, I'm straight. It is what it is. It's just the internet." He said, "Okay, well, shoot, holler at me if you need something." Another thing Tasha did, Tasha put me on about at the time by Facebook, something on Facebook, how to get you to get to monetization or whatever on Facebook. And she was talking to me about that. Like, I didn't even know how to do that. So she put me on to that. So all of my interactions with Tasha K has been respectful, cordial, and she even put me on, to something as well. Other people's relationship with her, or if they fell out with her, whatever, I'm not involved with that at all. Her interactions online, I could only go on how she treated me. That's it. And that's what I can say. And I'm pretty sure Tasha would agree on everything that I'm saying. I won't say nothing about her that did not, happen between us. But with this particular court case, now how I built my platform over the years is I've always wanted to make sure that I dot my I's and I cross my T's, no matter what it was. There were times that I reported on stories and then people emailed me and say, "Nah, Phil, that one part you talked about wasn't true, man. That's kind of hearsay." And you have to lower your ego, because we all got an ego. To do this, you got to have some sort of ego. Let's call it what it is. You got to have an ego, because that's part of your personality to do what you're doing. If you don't have some sort of ego or personality to do this, it's not going to really be successful with you. I'm not saying ego to be arrogant, but you have to have some sort of ego. All of us got it. Okay. All of us. But I've always tried to pride myself in, well, if something's wrong, I want to fix it, correct it, or I'll take it down. Right now, in all the years I've been doing this, I've never received a cease or desist at all. I've had people over the years contact me. Maybe it's a thumbnail that I used. And I remember that I was doing a story exposing, this dude that we knew locally that was, fooling around with underage girls. And the thumbnail I used was something he was a part of, but it had even though I blurred it, they still had the kid in there. So the dad hit me up and said, "Hey, brother, I know you're trying to expose this dude and I'm with you." You say, "But could you take that, thumbnail down, because of it, I just don't, even though I know you blurred it, still, I can recognize it. So other family would probably recognize it and see that video." So I said, "Okay, brother, it's one father to another. Hey, brother, I got it." I went on ahead. I took that down. I changed it out, because, hey, you reach out to me as a parent, a brother, we straight or whatever. It's cool. Right. There were times that people have given me new information on something and I had to take a video down. Now, trust me, I don't like taking videos down if I don't have to, right? Because this is how I think of it now. It's more cost effective just to take a video down for me, because I had to take my time to do it. I had to send it to an editor now. Then you got to send it to your graphic designer, right? So they can make a thumbnail, whatever. And then, you got to do all that, get it put back up, on the thing. So then you got to take all that down. Now you really just lost money with your team that you're working with, right? So I try not to have no information that's not really true. I love to have a video. I love to have a article. I love to have something. Now, if it's just something on the internet, the video is what it is, and I just talk about it or whatever, we having fun, right? But if it's anything that's been serious or whatever, I definitely make sure that just my fundamentals of what I have done over the years is to verify a lot of things, right? Now, the Cardi B thing. Now, we know that there was an interview that Sister Tasha made with a female by the name of Star Marie. She made allegations about Cardi B, and these allegations turned out not to be true. At the time, for what's came out now, that Cardi B had ended up reaching out to Sister Tasha herself and tried to have a conversation with her, saying mother to mother. And Tasha did put out a video saying that the only way she's gonna take that video down unless she pay her or the white folks make her take the video down. This is documented YouTube history between them. Now, rest assured, let's be honest here. Let's be completely honest here. There's videos, and these videos are out there. I've seen the videos, and many of you have seen the videos. we know that Cardi B has not been an angel now. Everybody's dumping on Tasha like Cardi was an angel. Okay. We seen the videos of Cardi herself on video talking about, drugging, men and robbing them. We seen those videos. Okay. We seen the videos about getting back at a dude and saying, okay, you want to do so with me and slip in a person from the trans community. These videos are out there. Okay. They're there. So I'm not going to sit here and say like she has been an angel. I've seen the post about calling other women of dark skin complexion roaches. I've seen that. I've seen the different things. I've seen them all online. Okay. So nobody's an angel in this, in my opinion, but we talk about what's the law. Even though nobody can be an angel out of this, legally, you can't put out things or say things that aren't true. Now, one way to protect yourself, content creators, is make sure you use the term allegedly. Well, allegedly this happened. Allegedly, this is what it said. Allegedly. And the reason why even the news itself used the word allegedly is because they needed to protect themselves legally so no one can sue them. When you say someone has a disease, especially something like a venereal disease. Now, if you said, well, from what people are saying, allegedly this person has this, but you're using the term allegedly, so you're not saying they have it. You understand? So that protects you. Now, we're talking about other content creators because you're thinking that this has nothing to do with you, but actually it has a lot to do with you. This is kind of setting a precedent a little bit with content creators on the internet space, is because this is the first time in the 10 years that I've been doing this that we have seen someone of quote unquote celebrity status actually sue someone in this space and have that kind of, judgment, right? So as we know, the story goes that 3 cease and desist were sent. Tasha didn't respond to them as she should by taking the content down. We know Cardi B did reach out to her. She still decided not to take the content down. Tasha stood on her square, how she felt about the content. Fast forward all the way up to the time of the court case, and they had to battle that in court. We find out, definitely Tasha's lawyer, Olga, the Russian lady, didn't do a good job at all. She didn't even practice civil law. She practiced criminal law. And, shout out to our brother, the lead attorney. He really broke that down from a lawyer's perspective. And even listening to the lead attorney, I didn't even realize how foul that was. That Olga lady done Tasha by taking her money. I mean, that is foul. Not even defending Tasha as she could or as she should. Now, being in Atlanta, I do agree, Atlanta has some of the most professional, some of the most awesome people out there. That is like Chocolate City. And being in Chocolate City, I'm pretty sure that we could find somebody good like me. Anything that I have ever done, with law, child support, whatever, it's been a black attorney. Matter of fact, on my news channel, Allie Booker, the one you saw coming on there at one point in time, she was my family law attorney. You can go look at the videos. It was her. And I remember how she argued with that judge in the courtroom. I'll never forget that because they were trying to stick me with some money that I paid already and trying not to give me credit for what I paid. And I watched her argue with that white judge for 15 minutes. I'm like, oh man, I was sitting here looking, and I mean, they arguing. Well, at the end, that judge backed down and said, okay, I'm gonna give him the credit. And I was like, boy, look at that. And I just kept looking at her. I was like, cause a brother put me on to her anyway. Said, man, you need to get her, man, because I mean, when she handled them people in the court, another black woman, right? Sisters, they could be good at arguing now. We know, listen, as black men, we know don't argue with sisters. We know that because we know you're just not gonna win that. So I've told, especially if you're an argumentative woman, you need to become an attorney because that'll be a good job for you, right? So we I didn't understand the play, on the woman. I've heard Tasha say about she's part of an agency. I don't know if that's our attorney that they recommended or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the full, business dealings, of that at all. But I don't know why someone is calling my phone at this time of day. I hate when somebody calling my phone. Anyway, so that lady just didn't do a good job whatsoever. Now, down the line, after the case is over with itself, we heard a lot of different things happen. This was being said, that was being said, but it goes back to, if you have some sort of proof, can you vet what you're saying? Because now, since this has been a precedent, now what you're going to see is other people looking and chomping at the bit to trying to see if what a content creator that has some sort of stroke, of course, right? They're not going to just come after anybody, but somebody with a major platform, will they come at you? Now, when they first sending you these cease and desist, that's the time for you to really assess it and look at it and say, okay, is this video really worth me standing on this? Is it worth it? Is it worth me not responding? Even after I got the third one about one video. Because this is what I think too. And many people said this, and me just knowing YouTube, what they were paying attention to this case too. And YouTube, what they do, they're not really gonna just come at, if they come at Tosh for any reason, they make a blanketed rule. For instance, the last time they made a blanketed rule is with the Steven Crowder thing, where he got into this big argument or whatever with a LGBT dude. Well, after that, they start clamping down about some of that, right? The reason why you can't use the S word, we know the S word I'm talking about, right, is because another content creator has filmed some people did that. So, you can't be doing that no more. Every single time some content creator do something that it gets in the news, YouTube, it don't take long, they backdoor and they start clamping down either on a policy that's already on the books, or they're going to come up with a new policy. Because of the Steven Crowder thing, that's why they had that creator-on-creator harassment policy that they have now, right? So YouTube do have a cyberbullying policy, harassment policy. They have all that. They do enforce it at times. They may not enforce it at times. It just depends on what they deem it is, right? So Cardi B won her judgment, but then I say, okay, what is going to be the next move? Is YouTube going to clamp down on all content creators? Because that's what I kind of see coming down the line, is that they're going to make a blanketed rule, because that's the way they normally do. They have a knee-jerk reaction to everything. And I get it because they are a corporation and they're trying to protect themselves. Because who's to say that Cardi B lawyers may say, well, you know what? We need to sue YouTube because they facilitated something. You know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully, as content creators, you don't want Cardi B to sue YouTube. Then when he says YouTube, of course, YouTube got deeper pockets than Cardi B can ever have. That's $1 billion corporation, Google, right? You ain't going to be able to win against them. But the deal is, once the lawyers are done whipping her, then they're going to say, okay, what can we do in the future to prevent this from happening? And it's usually clamping down on all content creators. It won't be just one. So people that are celebrating that with Tasha, be careful with the celebration, because it could make what you do hard too. Especially if you're doing that celebrity gossip type of deal where you're just putting stuff out there. Understand what I'm saying? But what was interesting though, this was the interesting part for me. This was interesting. Tasha's response. And if y'all can show your brother some love now, in that chat, I was looking down here. And yeah, like, show your brother some love, man. I know the super chat work or something now. Shoot, y'all don't like your uncle no more. I'm just trying to go through y'all. One person said they would never side against another black woman if she's not black, period. Okay. I was kind of just going through here. Yeah, I just want to just check and make sure that y'all supporting your brother. The super chat not working today. Anyway, so with that being said, Tasha made a response. And that response was interesting. That response was very, very interesting. I was actually in the airport, and, I said, okay, I want to hear this. So I couldn't really hear her response until, I landed back here in Houston. So when I landed back here in Houston, I said, I want to check this out. So, we waiting in a bush, in the Continental Airport, waiting for our bags to come up, and we looking at the video. And I mean, Tasha's tone, I said, man, what is going on with her tone? Because she had a real somber, she had a real, like humble tone, and everything. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Make sure I do that. She had a somber and humble tone. Thank you, RLI, for the love offering. Thank you for showing support to your uncle. Thank you. And I said, I say, what is she about to say? Is she about to, say something, maybe an apology? Is she it's gonna be a video of reflection? I mean, I was just so curious to see. Thank you, Razor Blade and Lemons. Thank you for the love offering of $10. Thank you very much. But then she started, talking about the case itself and not really going deep into it, and didn't really mention Cardi B's name. I thought that was interesting. And then it was 3 words that I heard, and I said, oh, Lord. I said, Tasha. I started smiling. Let me tell you why I smiled and started laughing about it. I fell out, actually. When Tasha had said that it was a conspiracy against her, and that because she's standing up against the industry, and that the industry was protecting their asset, she called Cardi B basically an asset, and it's the machine that came against her and threatened her life and threatened her family. And I'm like, and how this music is being put out against black people and black, girls can't even get their hair braided without getting shot, in Chicago, and all this violence in the music, and she's going to be there to always take a stand against it and critique it and give her opinion. And I'm like, I'm just like that. I'm like, whoa, what? I'm like, we just got the community activist Tasha. At that point, I said, what? We got a community activist. I mean, that's how the sister came across. Tasha, listen, you can't listen. You start stepping in my lane on that one. Tasha, that was community activism, what you said in that response, Tasha. I mean, you made it about basically white supremacy came against you, and you were just being a warrior standing against white supremacy in the music industry. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, what, is this the new crusade? I mean, are you going to start doing exclusives on these white execs in Live Nation, Sony Music? Hey, listen, you started putting them on blast. I'm right there with you. That's the ones you need to be exposing. Forget a freaking Cardi B and freaking Offset and the Baby and all of them. Expose those executives. That's the ones you want to start exposing. Thank you, Ashley Everett 84. I mean, if you're going to start doing that, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader in what you're doing, because they need to be exposed. So they call it the truth. They're the ones that sit up here and allow the racial slur that's against us to be in the music. And that's why it's so mainstream and worldwide. All these different people saying that word because of them. We don't put that word out there like that. They do. Okay. If you look at all these parties that these celebrities go to, all this spirit cooking thing they talking about, all this pedo stuff they're doing in the industry, right? Look, Tasha, if you're ready to start exposing that, hey, I'm like, hey, look, I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that. But is that the leaf you trying to go after this or what? I'm just trying to understand. Now, of course, I said before she made the video, I said she's going to appeal the case. Go back to my community tab and the date I put it up. I already knew she was going to appeal the case. The only thing I would say is don't get Olga. Whatever you do, Olga needs to go. And you need to get you a team of hardcore black women and men if you're going to appeal this. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Now, of course, Cardi probably like, oh, man, I got to go through this again. She probably would say that. But, hey, I mean, if they did some sort of judgment like that against me, I'll be doing the same thing. Now, who's to say she don't have business insurance? Because you can get business insurance for lawsuits. One company is called Cover Wallet. And you can get business insurance up to millions of dollars to pay for lawsuits if you're in journalism. Yes, every business should have business insurance. So we don't know if she has business insurance to cover some of that payment already. We don't know. I saw people trying to assess. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you, Pam Mitchell. Thank you, sister, for your love offering. And the kindergarten, thank you. I say appreciate all the hard work you do, Unc. But thank you, niece. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I love you for that. All right. So we don't know if she got business insurance. We don't know. She could. I mean, shoot, just be honest with you. I have it. I have business insurance because you better have it. You don't know what's going to happen. So you need to have business insurance. I'm pretty sure she's smart enough to have business insurance. I'm pretty sure. I don't know maybe the size of a policy, but I'm pretty sure she has business insurance. I've seen people assessing how much she make on YouTube. Let me tell you something. If you're looking at Social Blade, y'all need to stop that. That is not accurate at all. What y'all not paying attention to is many streams of income for content creators now. You have YouTube. Okay. Then you have TikTok, because you can make money on TikTok Creator Fund. Then you have Facebook. Facebook is a way you can make some money, right? Another platform, of course, is Patreon. People make money there. If you are doing podcasts on different platforms, like your Spotify's, your Anchor, etc., you can make money podcasting. Okay. You can make money from merchandising. You know, Tasha has her own website. I think it's a pay website, so she can make money there. You can't really look at YouTube money and say, oh, this all this person is making. No, that's just not the case. It's many streams of income now that's coming in. You look at brand deals. I think that's what she has. When she talks about her Pangea and all kind of, I think she had Adam and Eve, which is the sex toy people or whatever. She had a brand deal with them. You're paid for that. I have small brand deals that I do with a lot of people within the Black community, and that's small, right? It's not major corporations, but I'm cool with small. I could take 20 small people and it could be great for me, you know, instead of that one major deal. But hey, you get a major advertiser, you get a major advertiser. So I don't think she's doing, well, I know she's not doing bad on not just YouTube, but all the other things that she has together. I just thought it was interesting that people are trying to assess that she's only making $140,000 a year on her platform. I can tell you right now, no, she's making way more than that. I know. Okay. And I have multiple pages with different, amounts of subscribers on it and everything like that. Okay. So don't try to count somebody's coins. But what I will say about the situation is, what can we learn? Just what can we learn from this? What can we learn? Some people, like I say, don't like Tasha as a personal thing. Like I said, Tasha's been nothing but cool with me. She's reached out to me. She's, tried to help me even make some money. So I can't say nothing bad about her on a personal level. I can't. And I won't, because that would be, wrong. And I don't have that kind of experience with her. But what we can say is this: whatever we, put out content, let us dot our I's and cross our T's. If we unsure, let us use the term allegedly. Mr. Me gave a love offering and says Tasha was asked to take it down and say they were false 3 times. So Cardi tried. Tasha was too arrogant. So I don't really care at this point, because it's all water underneath the bridge now. There's a judgment. She says she's going to appeal. I'm just talking about what can we learn from this. Let us dot our I's and cross our T's. That's the only thing that I'm saying. When we do our reporting, if we unsure, just use the term allegedly. And if we get the right information, and if our videos or interview is completely wrong, let's take it down, and then we can remake another one with the right information, and then it will solve all that. Because listen, I'm a firm believer of the 48 laws of power. You understand? The 48 laws of power is something that I believe all people should read, especially if you're going into business. If you read the 48 laws of power, you will see how people move in their government, how people move just in business. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you one person that enact the 48 laws of power all the time. Freaking Donald Trump. That dude is the walking book of 48 laws of power. Seriously. Now, the one part of the 48 laws of power is don't go to war with somebody that you can't win. And what I mean by that is, for instance, I'm not going to try to go into a lawsuit with someone that got a bigger bag than me, because I know they're going to have longer money. They're going to have better lawyers, etc. So we got to strategically pick the battles that we win. That's in the 48 laws of power, right? So if it were me, and let's say I was sent something like that from some celebrity, I would look at the video, I would assess it, I would say, is that true, whatever, and I would, of course, talk to my people, and they would be like, well, look, if you go to court on this, you ain't got the bag to fight like that, and is it really worth for me to go to court too? It's just one video worth for me to go to court. That's how I think about it. Is it really worth it? Now, I will say this, out of the dotting your I's and crossing your T's and understand the 48 laws of power. What y'all don't understand, and this was a lot of people not going to say, but I'm going to say it. Y'all don't realize that out of all of this, Tasha, yes, she so far have lost her case and she's appealing. But how many people are saying that Tasha actually won more than what people are thinking about right now? Do you know how Tasha won? I'm going to give y'all a second to figure out how Tasha won. How she came out winning out of this. You say use the surrender as attack. Yeah, the 48 laws of power is so cold. I mean, listen, y'all ain't read the 48 laws of power. I don't know what it is. All right. So check it out. How did Tasha win? Tasha won by becoming infamous. Prior to this case, yes, there's certain outlets did talk about Tasha before. I get that. But not all at one time. Because of this case, the Breakfast Club was talking about Tasha. I saw The Real was talking about Tasha on TV. They was talking about Tasha on TV. You have these major mainstream media outlets all talking about Tasha at one time. Let me tell you something. You say, oh, well, they're talking about it because she lost. It ain't about losing. It's about they talking about you. And because they're talking about you, they're going to draw so many eyes to you because human curiosity going to be, who is this Tasha K woman that Cardi B went to court on? I never even heard of her before. So what's going to happen? Everybody going to start Googling, who is this Tasha K woman? And everybody going to go over there. And you're going to see if Tasha play her position right, she could flip a bag so big off of this where she was like, shoot, yeah, I got your money. I could pay you that. And I got this off of you suing me. Y'all don't understand. If you're a person that don't allow them to cancel you and call Tasha, I'll pray you right now on how she is, that ain't going to happen with her. Because you see, she ain't backing down. She going to win off of this and she ain't going to back down from nothing. You watch. Big man 79 thank you for the $5 said Tasha gained her. No. Tasha didn't gain clout. She became infamous. It's totally different in this clout. Clout is short term. Tasha's infamous now. And since Tasha's doing what she's doing, she's gonna ride down on infamy. So don't be surprised if she getting some reality show deals or whoever. As long as she don't back down from nothing, she gonna be watch. You'll see. You will see. Because Tasha's not silly enough to let this moment go. She gonna ride that as long as YouTube leave her alone and everybody leave. Tasha's gonna be doing her thing. Now, I will say this: not everything Tasha said was untrue. Now, because some people say everything she said is untrue. That's not. What about the Bureau of Prisons when that person leaked information to Tasha about R. Kelly, and then the feds wanted to get involved because it was true? That's why they wanted to get involved. Chicago Sun-Times was talking about her, right? Say that she got the information. You remember the situation about Brother Polite? She the one put that mess out there about him doing that situation with that little girl. And every bit of that was true. She had the paperwork, and that was the exact paperwork, and everything got brought up with the police report and even the charges. That was true about him. So no, not everything that she said was not accurate. Now the Cardi is one thing, that's that, but not everything. So you can't just say everything. Because of what Tasha put out originally, it set off the community about, Brother Polite running around here, doing his thing and talking about the money he making. And he wrote 1,000 books, however how many books he say he wrote. And now everybody's paying attention to what he's doing in his case, which he has an update in his case coming in February. And I'm following that case and watching that case very closely. I want to see everything's going to happen in that case. So no, not everything she put out was a lie. We don't want to do that. Right? Great Black Charles said not backing down on steadily cost some money. Well, some people willing to die on a certain hill, brother. Like I said, I'm willing to die on certain hills too, but it's going to be a certain hill that I know that I'm going to win at the end of the day. But that's me. That's me. her and what she chooses to do, I'm going to watch like everybody else. I want to see. But I think really she going to flip this into something bigger than what she had before, because she done got so many eyes on her now. I mean, when she had put up her post, I think within 1 or 2 hours, she had over 150,000 views, and it wasn't even up that long. So I can imagine her response, a 12-minute video. I'm pretty sure by now, if it don't have over 1 million views, and it's all on these major platforms. I mean, I'm just telling you, I know the YouTube system. I know what works. This is why they try not to mention us too much on the social media space, because they don't want us to get the eyes. Even when you're doing something serious like news and politics, they don't want the eyes our way because they know good and well it's going to elevate us. Chidi Amare says, I wish we can go this hard with black issues instead of hating the black woman. Listen, y'all, Chidi, you on the wrong channel with that. This is an entertainment channel. We talk about these sort of things. So with that being said, that's just how I feel about it personally. I think she's going to win out of this one. Believe it or not, she got everybody looking at her. And we'll see who she picks as her attorneys. I'm curious now. I know it's not going to be Olga. I know that. We'll see what her case is. She appeal. You know, she said she's going to appeal all the way to the Supreme Court. Now that's some money. I will tell you that, because, yeah, it's a lot of money. But with that being said, let's see if she's going to be the crusader against the industry. Let's see. Or, you know, that's just the way she chooses to respond. I don't know, but I'm curious to see if she's going to be the new crusader now. If she's going to be the entertainment community activist that's trying to take down the industry from promoting filth to the black community and get rid of this drill music and all kind of other music out there that's promoting that. I guess, you know, we'll just all be rap singing like Drake, you know, and talking about how much we love and all that. Travis R., thank you for the love offering. You know, I think people saying, no. I think people, you know, some people may not like Tasha. Some people may not, you know. So, of course, some people may celebrate that. Me, like I said, I don't have no ill will toward Tasha because she's never done anything wrong to me. I'm just talking about what happened, what we can learn from this, what possibly could happen on the YouTube space to other content creators, because this is a precedent, right? That's all. And I said I wanted to give my take after the case. I didn't want to say nothing during the case, because court cases can go either way. It's expensive. I agree. And I've heard all kind of other things that I don't want to go into, because that's, to me, is rumors until they put it out, you know. But they said something about allegedly, the IRS was in there, you know, allegedly. And you don't know who the IRS was in there for, you know, because everybody assuming it's her. You don't know if they in there for Cardi. You don't know that. How many celebrities haven't been paying their taxes either? Wesley Snipes, you remember he went to jail for that. Lauryn Hill went to jail for that. And just to name two off the top of my head. You know, they talk about Chris Tucker recently owing money in taxes, but he been paying a payment plan. Now, them folks not going to let me tell you about how them folks are. The IRS and even child support, them two, which is the worst two entities to owe. The interest rate is high on child support and IRS. But both entities will, first thing they're going to do is send you a letter. And they're going to say, hey, you ain't pay your taxes, or you behind on child support. Call us. Now, I would not advise you to say, forget that. I ain't calling them. Listen, even if you broke, you better call them people. You better call them. IRS, say, hey, look, Mr. IRS man or Miss IRS lady, yes, I need to pay my taxes. Can I be put on the payment plan? And say, okay, what's your finances look like? This is what finances look like. And they put you on a payment plan, pay that payment plan. And as long as you're paying your payment plan and you don't mess up your payment plan and you don't miss anything, the IRS will give you a chance. Now, if you don't want to pay your payments to the IRS, that's when you're going to start having a problem real quick. And that's not the people you want to mess with at all. You just go to anybody. I don't care who you are. Don't not pay your taxes. Don't do that. Same thing with child support. Do not just not pay your child support, fellas. Don't do that. Pay. Because it's easier to explain to a judge about you were paying, but you were short versus you didn't even try. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with your taxes. At least you're trying, you're paying extra, you're doing everything you can. If you feel like you can't pay it, tell them just garnish my paycheck. That way I'm not even missing the money. Like child support. They have no problem garnishing your paycheck either if you want them to. But please, no matter who you are, celebrity or not, YouTubers for sure, because that Google AdSense thing do not take out for your taxes. They say a lot of people, even on this YouTube, you're making all this money. You're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, some of you, and you don't have an LLC. You're not S-corped to save you on that 30%. You're not set up with nobody. And then at the end, you're going to see when it's time to file them taxes, like, oh my God, I owe all this in taxes. If you wasn't setting that 30% aside, oh yes, the IRS will be on you about this YouTube money. Oh yeah, see on the job, they go ahead and send it to the IRS for you. So you ain't got to worry about it on the job, but you got to be more disciplined as a YouTuber to get a CPA. All YouTubers need to have a CPA. If you are making any kind of money on this thing, get you a CPA and work with him or her about your taxes. Because I'm telling you from personal experience, we were trying to do it with somebody that didn't kind of know too much. We were putting it together, and it caused us to even owe what we should have been owing. We got with a brother that's a CPA, right, locally, and he said, "Oh man," he said, "Well, I'm surprised y'all wouldn't even audit it based on the way these things were done." But I can say shout out to brother because he got us straight, even to the point that we even got a refund. I'm like, yes, like that, right? So I learned over the years, as YouTubers, get you a CPA, make a good relationship with that brother or sister, especially in the Black community. Can we support our accountants who are Black? We can support them. If we in legal trouble, can we support our Black lawyers? We can do that. I highly support them. I say find a good one. Just because they Black don't mean they gonna be good, but do the research on who's the best of the best and go with them. Is what I would tell you, ladies and gentlemen. One person asked, do I offer consultations? I can definitely offer consultations if people need. I can offer a whole lot of things if there's a desire for it. Oh, you better believe I can offer a consultation. I have 10 years of experience on this platform. I have how many? Long, lot of years need my belt when it comes to marriage. Even y'all be watching all these platforms and people giving you advice and they're single and they never had a marriage. And I never understand that. I mean, just me personally, if I want to look for advice, I'm probably going to ask somebody that's been married probably at least 10 years or more. Hold on. This person said basically mad. Well, thank you for the love offering. Saying basically people are mad at Tasha K but won't tackle Black issues. I think you misunderstood me. Well, like I said, this is not the platform for that personally. One person asked, where are the Black CPAs? Google. Start looking. Google is on everybody's phone. Start looking. But what like I said, yeah, I got a lot of, I just, like I said, I don't understand that, just me personally. Even if a person says, well, when it comes to the relationship conversation, well, you married, this person married, y'all had no dog in that fight. How you figure? We learned we know what it takes for a woman to get married. We know that. We know what it takes for a woman to keep her man there, right? So what you mean we don't know what we'll talk about? If you single, they single, like you just giving advice and you haven't even had a successful relationship to show that. It's just my opinion. You say talk to y'all about setting up a living will and trust. Well, I think a lot of people just need to get some life insurance. Because I told y'all before, I have a big thing about Black folks getting on Facebook talking about, yeah, I got this $10,000 GoFundMe, so-and-so died. Pookie died the other day. And, we can you help us bury Pookie? And I'm like, where's Pookie's life insurance? I mean, they got life insurance plans that a lot of people won't even take advantage of in our community of $25 a month. It could be a $100,000 policy for $25 a month. And if Black folks need to be paying $25 a month, that way you won't embarrass your family. You won't do that. They down on Facebook asking for $10,000 or going for me to bury you. Pay $25 a month or more. You can get over $1 million policy if you want. That way, if you didn't have no money, at least leave your kids something, but get a life insurance, if anything. Get a life insurance. Then you could talk about living wills and trust and all that. I don't know what this person talking about. Yeah, all black folks have got life insurance policy, especially talking about this entertainment field. All you rappers that's out there, you still want to be on the streets talking about you hard and gang banging. Well, why don't you get a $10 million life insurance policy? Just go ahead and get that. Get life insurance policies for your family, all of that, right? And then even with these, police, if you sit up there and get life insurance policies, just maybe as Great Black Shark is saying, they'll slow down on killing black folk so much. Because they would want to pay out $1 million because they got policies you can get. You can pay about $100 a month and you got $1 million policy. Yes, you can have over $1 million policy. Now, of course, I would say you don't tell nobody about your policy. Don't do that. We don't want you, especially if you're dealing with, especially if you're dealing with Becky, on the show Snapped. Becky be up there poisoning you with in your food with freaking antifreeze. I've seen them shows. Man got a $2 million policy. Becky up here putting antifreeze in his food. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fix you some food. So we'll keep adding that antifreeze. And Brad like, man, I don't know why I keep feeling sick. I don't know what's going on with me. Man, I don't know either. Here, you want some more soup? Man. Thank you for the love offering once again, Travis. Thank you very much. Yeah, don't be discussing. Don't be discussing that. Yeah, listen, GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. You can't depend on the generosity of people to bury your loved ones. Get you a policy. Find you and the reason why I say black, we talk about the black community. That's what we talk about here. Get you a black life insurance agent. Look them up online. Call them. Say, I need a policy for me and my children. Okay, I need a policy because I don't need to be on Instagram or GoFundMe or whatever asking people to donate to my $10,000. Listen, I know when you're looking for $10,000, what it's for. I know exactly what it's for. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. See, Great Black Shark. I've been watching them shows. Yeah, Becky be putting that antifreeze up in there, that ethylene glycol. Now, I know the real term for antifreeze. Yeah, she be putting the ethylene glycol in that food and mixing that up. That's the boy. Yeah, watch that show Snap. Ain't nobody got that down packed like Becky. Some of you brothers talking about save yourself, black man. All right. Watch yourself with Becky now. Watch it. Becky don't play around. If she do that to her own man, what the hell you think she gonna do to you, brother? But anyway. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this stream today. Appreciate it. I just wanted to come in and stop by as your uncle got back. It's your first time over here. Make sure you subscribe. We're glad if you would subscribe. Click the like button as well. And, like I said, we just learning here. We were just having fun and we growing. That's all. And, shout out to all parties involved. Even with what we talked about today, even Cardi B and Tasha. Shout out to the both of them. There's no ill will toward nobody for me. Like I said, Tasha's always been cool with me. She's been respectful to me and my wife, so I have nothing negative really to say about her. If people don't like her based on her content, well, that's just content. I mean, I've met her personally, and she never done nothing like that to me. So it's the only thing that I can say. Now, your individual back and forth with her, maybe you did meet her. That's y'all. I never judge people based on how they treat other people. I judge really how they treat me or my family, etc. Because I don't know y'all relationship. I don't know both. But anyway, thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for coming over here, and see you on the next upload. We got some coming here shortly or whatever.